Hello, and welcome to the Eerie Encounters podcast, the only podcast devoted to all things creepy and unusual. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode.
Okay, so get this. We're diving into the Brown Mountain Lights today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and you sent over some really interesting stuff, like firsthand accounts from YouTube.
Yeah.
A skeptical historical overview. It's like we've got a mystery grab bag here. So are we gonna debunk some myths?
I love it.
Or uncover a true enigma, or maybe end up with more questions than answers?
I mean, that's usually how it goes with these things, isn't it?
Right.
More questions.
Yeah.
Well, the Brown Mountain Lights, they've puzzled people for over a century now, with descriptions ranging from ground lights that look like moving lightning to these eerie floating orbs.
Exactly. And some folks claim these lights have been around for centuries, even dating back to Cherokee legends.
Oh.
But then our skeptical source jumps in and links the lights to the arrival of electricity in the region, pointing out that the earliest published accounts pop up around 1910, just as electric lights were becoming common.
Well, that makes sense.
Right.
Yes.
Like, oh, suddenly we have lights.
It all makes sense now.
Exactly.
Yeah. They even bring up Jules Verne's novel, Master of the World.
Oh, wow.
Published just a year later. Which features a mad scientist creating strange lights on table rocks.
No way.
Near Brown Mountain.
Wow.
Coincidence?
That's wild.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it does make you wonder how much our cultural expectations shape what we see and believe.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's like our brains are wired to find patterns and explanations,
Right.
even if it means inventing them.
Absolutely.
But before we get too deep into the psychology of ghost stories,
Sure.
let's talk about the science.
Yeah.
The USGS actually investigated the Brown Mountain Lights twice.
Okay.
In 1913 and 1922.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah.
And what did they find?
Yeah.
What were their conclusions?
Their conclusions were pretty straightforward.
Okay.
The first investigation blamed train headlights.
Train headlights.
And the second one added car headlights and brush fires to the mix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Those explanations,
Yeah.
they mainly cover ground lights.
Right.
What about those floating orbs?
Yeah.
And what about the accounts that predate electricity in the region?
Those are the details that keep this mystery alive, right? Even with these debunking attempts,
It's true.
people keep seeing these lights. So let's dive into some of the popular theories.
Okay, yeah.
And see if they hold water.
Right.
We've got everything from swamp gas to UFOs on the table.
Yeah, I saw that in the sources there. A lot of possibilities. Yeah. So where do we even begin? I mean,
well, right off the bat, we can eliminate a few contenders.
Okay.
Will-o'-the-wisps.
Will-o'-the-wisps?
Yeah.
What are those again?
Those are caused by the combustion of swamp gas.
Oh.
And Brown Mountain is a dry, rocky area.
Right. So there's not a lot of swamps around there.
No swamps.
Okay, so we can rule that one out.
Yeah.
What about St. Elmo's fire?
Okay, so St. Elmo's fire, that eerie glow
Yeah.
you sometimes see around pointed objects during storms, that's caused by an electrical discharge.
Okay.
And wouldn't create those moving orbs people describe.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we can rule those two out.
Right.
What about those more out there ideas?
Sure.
The Small Town Monsters video seems pretty convinced that ball lightning is the culprit.
Ball lightning?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, ball lightning is fascinating for sure, but it's incredibly rare and poorly understood.
Yeah.
I mean, while it could explain some sightings, it's unlikely to be the sole cause of the Brown Mountain Lights.
Okay.
Especially considering the variety of reports we have.
Right.
Yeah.
Then there are theories about geological factors.
Like what?
Things like seismic activity or unusual mineral deposits. But our skeptical text source debunks those pretty thoroughly.
Okay.
Pointing out that there's no evidence of any unique geological activity in the area that would produce light.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and the idea of the lights being caused by radioactive minerals like uranium also falls apart.
Okay.
Because the levels of radiation found on Brown Mountain are far too low to generate visible light.
Right.
So we've ruled out swamp gas, St. Elmo's fire, ball lightning.
So far, so good.
Seismic activity, radioactive minerals.
Oh, yeah.
What are we left with?
Yeah.
It seems like every plausible explanation has been debunked. Yeah. Where do we go from here?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Some folks believe the answer lies in the realm of the paranormal.
Okay.
We've got ghost stories galore surrounding the Brown Mountain Lights.
Oh, yeah.
For example, there's the tale of Fate Wiseman.
Okay.
Seeing lanterns belonging to the lost souls of Henry and Jim back in 1854.
Wow.
Then there's the Revolutionary War soldier eternally searching for his lost child.
That's heartbreaking.
It is.
Yeah.
And who could forget the story of Lady Adeline?
Oh, yeah.
Seeking revenge on her murderous husband.
It's like a whole soap opera playing out on the mountainside.
Right.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But even if we set aside the ghost stories for a moment,
okay,
there are still those personal accounts that can't be easily explained.
That's true.
People report seeing the lights move in seemingly intelligent ways.
Really?
React to their presence.
Wow.
Even follow them.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the Brown Mountain Lights so compelling, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a collection of lights in the sky.
Right.
It's a phenomenon woven into the fabric of human experience.
Yeah.
Filled with mystery, speculation, and a touch of the uncanny.
Absolutely.
It makes you wonder if, despite all our scientific advances, there's still things in this world that defy easy explanation.
You know, I think you're right.
Okay, I am definitely hooked.
Good.
But before we get too far down the rabbit hole of paranormal theories, let's take a step back and consider something.
Okay.
A lot of these stories, whether they're ghost tales or personal accounts, they share common themes of loss, searching, and the need for resolution.
Interesting.
It's like these lights represent something deeper.
I like
something about the human condition itself.
That's an insightful observation.
Yeah.
It seems we're wired to find meaning in patterns.
Right.
Even in the face of the unknown.
Yeah.
Perhaps these lights, whatever their true nature, offer a blank canvas onto which we project our hopes, fears, and the enduring mysteries of life and death.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got some possible explanations ruled out. Others still on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole layer of human psychology adding to the intrigue.
I'm with you.
What do you say we shift gears?
Okay.
And dive into the 2023 investigation by Joe and Jesse from the Small Town Monsters video.
Okay. Yeah.
They actually went up on Brown Mountain with night vision cameras to try and capture these elusive lights.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating about their approach is that they didn't just observe.
Right.
They tried to recreate the lights using various sources to see if any matched what they'd captured on film.
Work.
It's a blend of firsthand experience and scientific inquiry that might offer some fresh insights.
Perfect. Let's see if their experiment sheds any light on this mystery.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
I see what you did there. Welcome back to our deep dives into the Brown Mountain Lights. I'm still pondering that connection between the lights and those recurring themes of loss and searching.
Me too. It's like those stories are trying to tell us something beyond just spooky tales.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get back to Joe and Jesse's 2023 investigation.
Okay.
They hiked up to Table Rock at night, the same spot where they'd filmed those mysterious orbs before.
Right, and remember, it was a stormy night.
Oh, yeah.
Which adds another layer of intrigue.
For sure.
They were in constant communication with their team down at Wiseman's View, who were observing through night vision cameras.
So they're on top of this mountain.
Yeah.
It's stormy, and they're basically playing flashlight tag.
Okay.
To see if they can recreate the Brown Mountain Lights.
Well, not exactly flashlight tag.
Okay.
But they did try a bunch of different light sources.
Okay.
They wanted to see if things like flashlights, lanterns, even lasers would look like the genuine Brown Mountain Lights when viewed from a distance through night vision.
Okay, so what happened? Did any of their light sources match up?
Some of them were surprisingly bright.
Yeah.
That high-lumen flashlight, for instance, was super visible through the night vision, but it didn't move or behave like the orbs they'd filmed before.
Okay, what about the red flashlight? I remember that one looked kind of strange on camera.
Right. On one of the night vision cameras, the red flashlight appeared almost blue.
Oh, wow.
It's a good reminder that different technologies can capture light in unexpected ways.
Yeah.
Which might explain why some eyewitness accounts of the lights are so varied.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But even with the color distortion, you could still clearly see the beam of the red flashlight.
Right.
Those orbs, though, they
Yeah.
seem to just glow on their own without any visible source.
Exactly. And to test the idea that the lights might be emitting a type of light we can't normally see, they even used infrared lights.
Invisible to the naked eye.
Right.
But detectable with night vision. Clever.
Mm-hmm.
So did those look anything like the orbs?
The infrared strobes look totally different.
Okay.
And then there was the laser experiment. They pointed a green laser down into the gorge, thinking it might create some strange effects.
Right.
But all they saw from Wiseman's view was the dot of the laser itself. Nothing more.
So at this point, you'd think they'd be ready to pack it in, right?
You'd think so.
They tried to recreate the lights and couldn't get close.
You'd think so, but then Jesse brings up this crucial point.
Okay.
Despite all their efforts, they haven't been able to reproduce anything that looks or moves like those orbs they filmed a year earlier.
Those orbs are what truly fuel the Brown Mountain Lights mystery.
I think you're right.
So let's focus on them for a minute.
Okay.
What makes these orbs so unique? How are they different from, say, car headlights seen from a distance?
Well, based on eyewitness accounts and the footage we've seen, these orbs have some distinct characteristics. Okay. First, there's the shape. They're always described as spherical.
Okay.
Never as beams or streaks of light.
And their color seems to change too, right?
Yeah. Yellow, orange, and white are the most common colors reported.
And the biggest mystery of all, there's no visible source.
Right.
No beam connecting them to the ground or anything else.
It's like they're just glowing balls of light.
Yeah.
Defying gravity and logic.
Right.
It's no wonder even Joe and Jesse, who started out skeptical, came to believe they were seeing something genuinely unexplained.
They even called them UFOs.
They did.
Though they were careful to say that doesn't necessarily mean alien spaceships.
Right.
So if we rule out all the usual suspects,
okay.
car headlights, lanterns, atmospheric effects, what are we left with? What could possibly explain these orbs?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
We've explored scientific theories, historical explanations, even psychological factors, but none seem to fully fit the bill. Maybe it's time to consider some of the less conventional, even paranormal theories.
We did touch on the ghost stories earlier.
Yeah.
But are there any other ideas out there that might explain those strange orbs?
Look, there's a theory about Earth lights.
Earth lights.
Luminous phenomena sometimes seen near geological fault lines.
Okay.
Or areas of tectonic activity.
Could the Brown Mountain Lights be some kind of Earth light? Maybe triggered by a unique geological feature in that area?
It's possible. Some researchers believe that piezoelectric effects.
Piezoelectric effects.
The generation of electricity from pressure on certain types of crystals could be involved.
And Brown Mountain is known for its unique geology, right?
Exactly. The Linville Gorge area has all sorts of interesting rock formations, including lots of quartz, which is a crystal that exhibits piezoelectric properties.
So maybe the pressure from the mountain itself, or maybe even shifts in the Earth's crust, are creating these electrical charges that manifest as glowing orbs.
It's an intriguing idea.
Yeah.
And it fits with some of the reports of the lights appearing to rise from the ground.
Okay.
But there's another aspect of this theory that's even more mind-boggling.
Oh, I love mind-boggling. What is it?
Well, some researchers propose that these Earth lights, these piezoelectrically charged orbs, might not just be random balls of light.
Okay.
They might possess a form of intelligence or consciousness.
Hold on. Intelligent rocks? Conscious crystals. That's a pretty big leap.
I know. It sounds like something out of a science fiction novel.
Right.
But there are scientists like Dr. James Deardorff who've studied these phenomena and believe that certain types of Earth lights might exhibit behavior that suggests a level of awareness.
Wow.
Or even intention.
So we're talking about the possibility of a completely unknown life form existing in the form of glowing orbs of energy.
It's definitely a fringe theory.
Sure.
And there's no scientific consensus on it, but it's a fascinating example of how the Brown Mountain Lights push us to consider possibilities beyond our current understanding.
Wow. My head is spinning. We've gone from swamp gas to sentient orbs in the space of an hour.
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, this deep dive is living up to its name.
It really is, and we're not done yet. There are even more unconventional theories to explore.
Okay.
And we need to delve deeper into the implications of this enduring mystery.
Okay, I need a moment to process all of this. Where are we at so far? We've got debunked theories, plausible but incomplete explanations, and now we're venturing into the realm of intelligent energy beings?
It's a wild ride for sure, and we're just getting started. Join us for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll explore even more unconventional theories and delve into the deeper implications of this enduring mystery.
All right, deep divers, we're back, and my brain is officially overflowing with brown mountain lights theories.
I bet.
We've got everything from swamp gas to sentient crystals on the table.
That's a lot.
Where do we even go from here?
Well, remember how we were talking about those piezoelectric effects?
Huh?
And the possibility of intelligent Earth lights?
Yeah.
There's another theory that builds on that idea, but takes it in a slightly different direction.
Okay, hit me with it.
This one involves plasma.
Plasma.
Now, plasma is basically superheated, ionized gas.
Okay.
And it's actually the most common state of matter in the universe.
Plasma, what's in those cool glowing balls you see at science museums?
Exactly. And while it might sound a bit out there, there's a growing body of research suggesting that naturally occurring plasma phenomena could be responsible for some unexplained aerial lights. Maybe even the Brown Mountain lights.
Wait, so are we talking about ball lightning again?
Right.
Because we already kind of explored that.
Ball lightning is one type of plasma phenomenon.
Right.
But this theory goes beyond that.
Okay.
It suggests that certain geological conditions, particularly those involving quartz crystals, could create pockets of plasma that become visible as glowing orbs.
Okay, I'm following so far. Quartz and crystals, piezoelectric effects, plasma orbs.
Yeah.
It's all starting to connect, but how does this explain the strange movements and behavior of the lights?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Some researchers believe that these plasma orbs might not just be random balls of light.
Right.
They could actually possess a form of intelligence or consciousness.
Hold up. Are we talking about sentient plasma now? Like plasma beings floating around Brown Mountain?
It's a radical concept, I know.
Yeah.
And it definitely pushes the boundaries of our current scientific understanding.
Right.
But there are physicists, like Dr. James Deardorff, who've proposed that plasma might be capable of self-organization and could exhibit behavior that resembles intelligence.
So we've gone from ghost stories to potentially intelligent plasma beings.
It's been quite a journey.
This is definitely the most mind-bending deep dive yet.
I think so.
But even if we entertain this idea, it still leaves a lot of questions unanswered.
Like what?
What makes Brown Mountain so special? Why would these plasma orbs, if they exist, choose this particular location?
That's a great question, and it's one that researchers are still trying to figure out. It could be a combination of factors.
Yeah.
The unique geology of the area, the presence of quartz crystals,
right.
Maybe even specific atmospheric conditions.
It's like all these pieces, the geology, the eyewitness accounts, the folklore, these mind-blowing theories.
That's a lot.
They're all part of a giant puzzle, and we're just starting to put the pieces together. You know, throughout this deep dive, we've talked a lot about science and theories. But there's another aspect to this phenomenon that we haven't really explored in depth. The human experience.
Ah, yes, the personal stories, the emotions, the impact these lights have had on those who've witnessed them.
Exactly. We've heard tales of fear and wonder.
Right.
But there's also this sense of reverence. Almost a spiritual connection that some people feel towards the Brown Mountain lights.
That's true.
For some, they represent a connection to something larger than themselves. A reminder of the mystery and wonder that still exist in the world.
I like that.
It's like they're a portal to another realm.
Okay.
A glimpse into something beyond our everyday perception.
That's a really interesting way to put it.
And even if we never fully understand their nature, perhaps that sense of awe and wonder is enough.
Yep, you might be right.
You know, after this deep dive, I have more questions than answers.
Yeah, me too.
But I also have a newfound appreciation for the complexity and mystery of this phenomenon.
And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
The goal wasn't necessarily to solve the mystery,
right,
but to explore it, to consider different perspectives, and to appreciate the vastness of the unknown.
I think we've accomplished that and then some.
Sure.
We've journeyed from skeptical debunking to mind-bending theories of sentient plasma, all while weaving in the rich tapestry of folklore and personal experiences.
We've covered a lot of ground.
And we've left plenty of room for you, our listener, to continue the exploration.
Absolutely.
What resonates with you? What theories do you find most compelling?
Yeah. Let us know.
That's the beauty of a deep dive.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the beginning of a journey.
Right.
And an invitation to keep questioning.
Yeah.
Keep exploring and keep that sense of wonder alive.
I love it.
The brown mountain lights may remain a mystery,
mm-hmm.
but the journey of exploration they spark within us is a reward in itself.
I agree.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Until next time, keep looking up. Keep asking questions and keep that sense of wonder alive.
And who knows, maybe one day you'll have your own Brown Mountain Lights experience to share.
If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like and ring that bell icon so you will be notified every time we upload an episode, and always, thank you for listening to our podcast.